So the mainstream media is now just outright lying. Yes, surprise, right? The mainstream media lying? Yeah, that's all they do, right? But now they're just outright lying, just bald-faced lying in front of the camera when they are talking about this sit-down interview that Donald Trump had with Tucker Carlson, where he talked about the fact that Liz Cheney is a massive warmonger. And he made this little quip like, how would she like it if she had guns trained on her? Because if you are a warmonger, you are sending other people's kids to go out and fight and die in wars that you are creating. And you're just sitting back there at a desk, signing pieces of paper, sending people out to die for things that you want. And what are the consequences for you if you are doing something that is untoward? Now, Donald Trump made this statement. CNN, mainstream media, MSNBC, all of them combined have taken his statement and have said that now Donald Trump is calling for the execution of Liz Cheney. And not only that, but the Arizona Attorney General is now going after Donald Trump in an investigation because of the narrative that has been put out there. This is CNN completely lying about what Donald Trump said. Listen.
I don't think you even need to call it fired upon. He's saying quite explicitly and unambiguously that Liz Cheney should be shot, should be executed by firing squad. That is appalling. It is a small facet of the reasons why he's unfit for office, and the Republican Party has made a disastrous mistake renominating him. All that said, since we're here for the punditry, I don't know what this gets him, right? If his problem is freaking out suburban women who don't like the chaos, don't like the violent rhetoric and all that kind of stuff, that's just not a great closing argument. Let's execute a political opponent who happens to be a woman because I don't like her. And does that pull more low propensity voters in his coalition to the polls? I honestly don't think so.
And I don't blame him for sticking with his daughter, but his daughter is a very dumb individual, very dumb. She's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. When the guns are trained on her face. They're all war hawks when they're sitting in Washington in a nice building saying, oh, gee, let's send 10,000 troops right into the mouth of the enemy. But she's a stupid person. And
now Donald Trump is absolutely correct. Liz Cheney, along with her father, are absolutely war hawks. And, what should freak out women, and, this pundit was talking about women freaking out, is the fact that what do war hawks do? Well, they look for war to engage in because it's very profitable. And if you are in a war, what do you have to do? Well, you have to have people to go out, fight, and die in your war. So what should really freak out women, and one thing that he doesn't mention at all, is the fact that these women have children, or a lot of these women have children, and whose children would go out and ultimately fight and die in a war for someone like Liz Cheney. But now the Arizona Attorney General is investigating Donald Trump's comments. I mean, I just played for you the full clip, and I think it's pretty clear what the context was. It's like, hey, you're doing something to me. Well, how would you like it if this was done to you? This is obviously the context that Donald Trump said these words in. But here is a quote unquote journalist on MSNBC reporting that Arizona's Attorney General is looking into these comments by Donald Trump. Take a look.
And Bram Resnick, the political anchor and reporter from our NBC affiliate in Phoenix, KPNX, joins us. Talk about this breaking news regarding Donald Trump's comments that he made about Liz Cheney in Arizona last night. The Attorney General is responding?
That's right. I just spoke to Attorney General Kris Mayes about 2 hours ago for the taping of my Sunday show. She told me she just gotten off the phone with her criminal division chief, and she was investigating whether what Donald Trump said about Liz Cheney constituted a death threat under Arizona law. I'll tell you, under Arizona law, it is illegal to make threats or intimidate someone. Can be charged as a Class 1 misdemeanor, Class 6 felony. Kris Mayes told me they're looking into it. I asked her whether this was just political speech, free speech. She said we're checking to see if it crossed that line. But she also put it in the larger perspective. If you're here right now, you begin to understand how this place is ready for a high security event on Tuesday, an election. Our sheriff's office is talking about a no tolerance policy for protests. Kris Mayes is activating all her agents. Every law enforcement agency in the state is involved with protecting the vote, protecting voters. So Kris Mayes brought that into the conversation, that for Donald Trump to make these kinds of remarks at this time, such a really fraught and tense moment here in Maricopa County, is just bad.
So what Donald Trump says is just bad. You know what I think is just bad? I think it's just bad that we send people out to fight and die in frivolous wars. That's what I think is just bad. But oh no, poor Liz Cheney. Don't say anything mean to her. Don't say anything mean about her. She's just the one that wants to send your daughters and sons to go out and fight and die in meaningless wars. But Donald Trump, he has doubled down. Yes, that's right. Donald Trump has doubled down, and he's just an absolute goat for this, because for them to take him out of context like this, like, I get it. That's what the media does. The media, they like to spin things and all these. But in this case, they're not even spinning anything. They are just blatantly lying and attaching the opposite context to his words than what they know he meant. This is Donald Trump in Dearborn, Michigan, when he was visiting a coffee shop, talking about Liz Cheney and doubling down on the fact that Liz Cheney is, in fact, a war hawk. Take a look.
She kills people. She wanted to, even in my administration, she was pushing that we go to war with everybody. And I said, if you ever gave her a rifle and let her do the fighting, if you ever do that, she wouldn't be doing too well, I will tell you right now. But she's a war hawk. She wants to go kill people unnecessarily. And if she had to do it herself and she had to face the consequences of battle, she wouldn't be doing it. So it's easy for her to talk, but she wouldn't be doing it. She's actually a disgrace.
So obviously, that is what any rational, reasonable person would take from Donald Trump's comment whenever he was talking to Tucker Carlson. Like, I mean, everyone has had these conversations with people, how would you like it? Maybe if you have kids, your kid does something and, that is not very nice. And you say, hey, how would you like it if someone did that to you? I mean, it's the golden rule, right? It's another way of saying the golden rule, like do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And Liz Cheney obviously doesn't respect the golden rule. And honestly, quite honestly, none of these people in Washington do. None of these people, none of these radical leftists, this machine, none of them, they don't care. They are out to get people. They are out to lie. They want to collude with media. They want the media to run a very specific narrative, because right now Donald Trump is winning and they have to pull out all the stops, and they have really nothing. Where was their October surprise? Their October surprise was literally, once again, calling Trump Hitler, trying to say that his rally in New York at Madison Square Garden was reminiscent of a Nazi rally. I mean, really? That's your October surprise? The same thing you've been doing for the past decade against Donald Trump, calling him Hitler, is absolutely insane. But what do you guys think of this? Let me know down below in the comments what you think. Like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until then, I will see you on the next one.